What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Light Novel Fiends podcast. This is episode 11. Biggest gamer here.
This is Adamar.
And today we're going to be talking about, oh, baby, we're back.
Yeah?
We're back to Destroyer of Ice and Fire.
Did you agree with me that we should have done 450?
Yeah.
Bro. Right? It was crazy. All of it.
Crazy. So, before we go off,
Yeah.
I didn't make it a 450.
Where did you get?
Like,
But,
it was like 325. So, I'm sorry.
no, you didn't even get through the fallen Shadow Valley arc. Then you're
No,
still there, aren't you?
No, it just ended.
All right, then I guess that's enough to talk about. That's
I-
really where I wanted you to get.
To be honest, I was also just like, bro, I feel like if I did catch up, there's so much stuff we'd miss.
I'm so happy he agrees, guys, because like literally, this is where I was last week. I was at chapter 340, and I was already feeling like we had way more than enough to talk about.
Mhm.
And so, like, once I hit 450, I was like, I don't know if we're gonna have enough time.
We would not because
So-
so much happened.
So, chapter 200 to 325.
Yeah.
Can you say the last thing that you remember, so I don't talk about anything after that?
So the last thing I remember is the guy from House Baratheon. He
Rinley?
Huh?
Rinley?
No.
Oh.
Like it wasn't. They didn't say his name, but it was
Oh.
like I'm pretty sure it was like one of the big shots.
Mm-hmm.
He had defeated one of the evil dragon followers who had released the apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
So do you remember like they had that conversation where he was like,
Oh.
"I'll let you go if you fulfill a condition of mine,"
Yeah.
which is probably for Rinzi,
Yeah.
probably like heal him or something.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the last thing. So because they had just defeated Diaz.
Did you finish that conversation or no? Did they finish that conversation between the two? Between the House Baratheon guy and the Apocalypse Bishop?
I don't think so.
So do you know who the Baratheon person is or not?
No,
All right, so I won't say.
but yeah,
You literally find out next chapter. So.
yeah, that's what I was like. But yeah,
Okay.
But that was the last thing I read. Honestly, the whole Evil Dragon Valley arc was insane.
Bro, so good.
It was
So good. I was gushing reading it.
Yeah.
That's why I was at chapter 340 and I was like, this right here is like just peak. Like
Mhm.
amazingness. Like I need to talk about
It had a mix of everything. It had a mix of like comedy,
Mm-hmm.
action,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like thrill rides,
Mhm.
like up and down, like it was so emotional.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fighting was intense,
Yeah.
and we got a little pet dragon. So
Yeah.
I was like, and honestly, it's the funniest dragon ever. This
For
guy,
sure.
he's just stealing treasures everywhere.
Uh-huh.
I was like, honestly, this is like the most comedic type dragon like you
Mhm.
could just create. It's so funny.
So I wanna, before we go into it, spoiler. We are now talking about the actual stuff that happens now, guys. We did recommend this book last month in the month of January,
Mhm.
and like we always tell you, we keep reading these books if we like them. Phoenix Requiem, I don't know, but
We'll get into that later.
We'll get into that later. But Damn Reincarnation, we're letting that stockpile. I'm personally gonna keep
Yeah,
going.
I'm
You're
gonna
read
keep
it?
going. I'm just waiting. It's
Yeah.
like it's a slow translation, but
they-
it's good. It's still good.
I was actually looking at it this morning. I think they do 4 chapters a week. is what
Yeah.
I've seen. And so we tell you guys we're gonna keep reading it. You know, if we like it, we give it a good rating. We're gonna keep reading it. And so, Destroy of Ice and Fire was fire,
Mhm.
and so we kept reading it, especially because it's a finished novel, so we don't have to wait for the translation.
Yes.
And-
oh my god.
The end of chapter 200, they were, if I remember correctly, they were fighting House. They were in the semifinals. They were in the group stage of 8. There was
Mhm.
8 people left, eight groups left, and they were fighting. I remember it was Chris's fight because I remember I
Yes.
was mad that it right where it ended.
Mhm.
And they were fighting, and they ended up winning that battle, so they were in the top 4.
Yep.
And so that's where we're coming from, and we're going all the way to the end of the Fallen Shadow Valley arc. Not the very end scenes, but we're gonna go through most of it, guys.
Yep. So from the beginning, like what happened, like a little bit after, like they enter the final 4.
Mm-hmm.
So we have first. This is like the huge like start of like Aaron's like journey here as like become an arcane master, because now he's like really fighting like life or death here. Like
Yeah.
sure, like the tournaments are kind of like that, but like not really.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Not even
Like
close.
some people have died, but you're not supposed to kill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now like so there's this guy Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a bishop or
Evil dragon follower bishop. And that's the group, the evil dragon followers.
They're like the overarching villain for the
Yep.
story.
Yep. I don't think we ever said that in our reviews because we were trying to keep it low key. Because they go over it in like chapter like 70, I believe. That's where they start like kind of mentioning it.
Yeah. So
I don't think we ever mentioned in our review though because we didn't want to spoil. We're trying to get better at that.
yeah.
Not to spoil you guys.
But now we're spoiling everything.
Oh yeah, we're going through it all. We're going through it all.
But yeah, so like when the tournament that takes place is in the sacred city in the kingdom of, I don't know how to pronounce the name of the kingdom.
Kingdom of Ichi.
Ichi. I think it is Ichi.
That's how Aichi.
Ichi probably sounds better.
Ichi. All right, and then Doa. Doa's the other one.
Yeah, Doa's the other one. But he wanted to destroy this city by literally like causing a tsunami because he wanted to destroy like the water. That would, or actually not. It wouldn't be a tsunami, but he wanted it to like destroy like the functionality, like because if the city's in the air, it floats, and he wanted it to just make it fall.
I forget the exact name of the city because it's the kingdom of Ichi, but I don't remember I think it's like Edomar, or I think it starts on an E, but it's the city in the sky.
It's called like the holy city.
Yeah, the holy city in the sky because it was actually where back in history the people who were fighting against the evil dragon Ned, I believe it was his name. That's like the first tutorial prequel. Like that's like the first prologue. It's the prologue of the book.
Yeah,
where they show you that the evil dragon Ned was fighting against like the defenders of the world, and that's where he lost. Like he made it all the way to the holy city, and like he lost right there. That's where he lost the battle.
Yeah. So he wanted to sink it. There were traitors, like a bunch, like the schools and like from the students and teachers.
That was a plot twist.
No, it was because I honestly wasn't expecting that. I was like, wow, like a lot of the kids like are already like evil dragon followers. I was like, what? I thought it would only be like teachers, and the kids would be like shocked, like, oh my god, not sensei. Yeah. But then it was like some of the kids were like, nah, we're killing people too. I was like, oh my god.
I was so confused. One, I think is sometimes I forget that they're 16 years old. I think I have to remember that. Sometimes for some reason I think they're 14.
Yeah.
But I think it's because of the what's that word?
Naivet. I think it's Naivet.
Naivety. You know what I'm trying to say though, of Aaron, of how he's like acts so like sometimes so simple and then sometimes so like smart, so mature, and so sometimes it messes with my like visualization of how old everybody is. But everybody is 16, so you know at that point you can make some bad decisions, some good decisions, some real decisions, you know. And so I think especially with Aaron, how he's like, let's go, brave warriors. Let's get it. Like we are the defenders of Ichi. You know, like we are the people's protectors. You know, he goes hard for this kingdom righteousness. And then to see all these like defectors, I was not expecting that because they make it very clear that the evil dragon followers, like 90% of them are people with horrible talents. Basically, like these people can open one or two arcane gates, and they don't really have a hope of opening more in their life.
And they want the bloodline to increase their talent.
And so, if you get the evil dragon follower bloodline, like it increases your talent by a lot. And you basically, I think it's pretty clear that you at least open another gate.
Yeah, I think a lot of them become like 4 gates or something.
Yeah. And so the whole point is that you're like mediocre, not even mediocre. You're trash.
Yeah,
you're like the trash of society. And like in a world where there's superpowers, let's say like if any of you have ever seen My Hero, you're quirkless. Like you cannot compete. You're like, imagine you're just a one arcane gate person. You're basically nobody, you know?
Yeah.
And so they entice you with power to become stronger. I could see why a lot of people do that. But these children are the elite of the elite. Yeah. Like a lot of them have 3 arcane gates already open. They have potential to hit 4, maybe even 5.
Yeah, especially since they're competing in the national tournament.
Yeah,
it's like where the elites like all compete.
The elite of the elite.
Yeah,
and I kind of didn't even understand why they were doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were
They
giving
didn't go
grief.
through that.
Maybe
They didn't talk about it, right?
yeah,
Like
not really.
why?
They were just like they were just defectors.
Yeah, like we want the particles,
Yeah,
and
and I was
so
like, oh damn.
yeah.
And so they went through a crazy battle,
Hmm.
and like Aaron just leveled up like insane, and
Yeah.
he was. It was like what's it called? He got like the protagonist like power up,
Hmm.
but it was like
It's deserved though.
it was like really cool.
Yeah.
Like the way he was just fighting
Yeah.
and just constantly like he was getting pushed to his limit, and then he was also protecting Charlotte, so it was like the hero saves the beauty type thing, and
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, the
That
author
was so
just
good.
the way it just flowed together was so good,
Mm.
especially when he's fighting against what's his name? Is it Lautner?
Lauden.
Lauden.
Yeah.
Lauden. I was gonna say Lautner.
Mm.
But Lawton,
Hmm.
who's also like that's another like whole like thing with him as
Yeah,
well.
he's 180.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but for it, they were just he was like the most dangerous guy, and Aaron was just constantly fighting and putting
Mm.
his life on the line, and they
Yep.
were just going at it and at it for
It was
chapters.
so
It
good.
was just like you're on edge the whole time with Aaron just fighting this guy. I was like, holy crap, this fight's going crazy, and
Yeah.
everyone was fighting like crazy. Everyone was like getting hurt,
6v6.
looking
The
like
team
they're
battles
about
are
to
so
die.
cool. Yeah.
Everyone was like, this was like not like it was like
It's not kids fighting no more.
this was like when the scene like when I was like reading this thing I compared it to was like when like
Naruto. I
Naruto
know
and
you're gonna
them
talk about
they were going to go chase
Sasuke.
Sasuke, and I was like,
Yeah.
yo, this is just like that.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
I completely agree, and I think. And by the way, guys, this is not even after chapter 200. This is chapter 150 to 200 that we're talking about right here. And if you guys remember, we said it was so perfect, but we couldn't spoil it for
Yeah.
you. And now we got to talk about it.
Yes, exactly.
Because that was so good, him fighting against Lawton.
Mhm.
Especially because, guys, Lawton's whole power is fear. It's like he has this power that makes people have so much fear in their hearts they can't fight to their full potential.
Yeah, because like
Air just breaks through it.
well, because everyone has fear, and so he uses that,
Mhm.
and it like basically he tries to take like people's like innate fear and like
Hide in it.
yeah,
Mhm.
so like it like envelops them.
Mm-hmm.
But for Aaron, like he was just like the wrong person because he explained his own experiences with, like
He
being
has
like
gone through a lot.
yeah, because all of his fears like that he had already experienced them,
Mm-hmm.
but now like because he's had like that really like lonely and like despairing experience, he was
Like
able
upbringing, yeah.
yeah, he was now his life is so completely different and it's so much better that to him like the only despair would be like to lose that all. So it's like for him like saying like oh that fear of being alone, it's like he's not
done
alone.
it.
He's not
Yeah.
he's like learning to be an arcane master,
Mhm.
you know. He gets to eat all this crazy good food because back then he was skin and bones. He was
Yep.
like so much good food.
Mhm.
And now it's like now he's fighting. Now even Charlotte's got a girlfriend and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, he's living his best life. Why would he be afraid? And
That's
he's
true.
obviously like a battle crazed maniac. So
Mm.
now it's like he's not afraid of fighting.
One of I think two things I want to call out. One, when he was fighting Rensley in the national championship, and Rensley, what's he do? Rensley, the mirror where he
Yeah.
traps him in the mirror world, and it's like his spirit has to go through. It's like in a time lapse. So for Aaron, it's like 6 months or
Mhm.
something, but for everybody else, it's like 2 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like basically Aaron's in a dark place. Like imagine like the infinite void is kind of what they
Yeah.
describe, and you're just out in the infinite void for like half a year, and everybody's like, oh, like they would break down, their mentality would suffer, they wouldn't be able to handle, they'd go crazy and they die. And Aaron's like, I've been through worse.
Mhm.
Like I've been in the mines in the dark, not being able to see for years.
Yeah.
So like, I just was just like, I'll make it through, and I love that point.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, when that happened,
Mhm.
I was so pissed because, like, yo, this guy Renzi, bro, he's such a bum.
He
Yo, he
is
pulled
such
this
a
out of. You lost at a tournament, then you went and go kill this guy. I was like, oh my god. But so, when he became crippled and became a vegetable, I was like, that was literally just karma, right?
It was
there.
so perfect.
I was like, damn, turn him a vegetable.
And also, one other shout out I want to say before we get into these chapters is that I love Aaron's fighting style. It's like guys, if you ever start playing a game, like I like Kingdom Hearts, right? If you've ever played Kingdom Hearts or any other fighting game, you know at the beginning when you first start playing and you're fighting a boss, what do you want to do? You want to go up and punch him in the face and like
Mhm.
just like beat him up, right? But like obviously, if you do that, you're gonna lose.
Yeah.
You know, because the boss is like not gonna take that, and you're just gonna end up losing. But no, that's how Aaron fights the whole time. He's gonna run at you.
Mhm.
He's gonna tank the damage, and he's gonna come up and beat you up. And his power is also very perfect for this world, like
Mhm.
the way he can absorb particles, because like
That's a cheat skill.
it's so cheap. Because in a lot of fights you see that people are exhausted, and he's like, I'm still going.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, it was definitely like an amazing. It was amazing battles so far.
So
They're
good.
so good.
All right, so I want to ask you some questions, bro. First, how do you feel about Stingham? Stingham? How do you
Stignum. I call him Stignum.
how do you say it?
Or not Stignum. Stigum.
Stingham?
Stigum.
All right, I think I say Stingham too. Actually, Stingham, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Stingham, he is the boy with the
He's a
green
narcissist.
dragon. He's a narcissist, the green dragon bloodline
Yeah.
person, and he's the guy that combs his hair every 5 seconds. He's like so handsome. So, how do you feel about him going from chapter 200 to the end of the Fallen Shadow Valley arc? Because he goes through a lot there.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Honestly, Stigum.
take me through the highs and lows,
He's
bro.
so at first I was really annoyed with him.
Same.
And I was just like, yo, bro, just get rid of this guy. But
I wanted him to die almost. I was like, can we cut this guy off?
But as the time went on, like he slowly like won me over
Mm-hmm.
because the author just wrote him like he became less about himself and more about his teammates,
Mm-hmm.
and to the point where like they all jokingly, like even like is it Rinler?
Yeah, Rin Lauren.
Like even calls him an idiot. At some point, like they're bickering,
Yeah.
but like at that some now like they're bickering is like to them it's like now it's like a symbol of their friendship.
Yeah.
It's like they're bickering,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that because like the author described it. He was like, oh, like heart, a little warmth in his heart
Mm-hmm.
as they're like fighting and defending each other and protecting each other.
Mm-hmm.
So like that camaraderie as they like fought in a lot of like life and death battles like was really like it changed Stignum,
Mm-hmm.
and then like it just brought the whole group together.
I completely agree, bro. At the beginning, I was hating his guts.
Yeah, me too. Especially like when they ran into that those like level 5 beasts or whatever.
All the Lord level beasts.
Yeah, and he was just like
Me
running
too.
around. I was like, bro, like why is this guy like just
And
go
he'd
crazy?
always mess everything up, like
Yeah.
the ambushes, like anything they were planning. He'd just be like, "I don't care," and like ignore directions, you know.
Yeah.
And so it was getting pretty frustrating. But then after, you could tell, I think at the beginning he was kind of just like all about me,
Mhm.
and like just like you said, you put it perfectly. He became like part of the team, and now it's like he still does some of these things, but he does these things knowing that it'll be beneficial for the team. You
Yeah.
know, like he'll run out to like do something stupid, but like he knows he's gonna tank the
Mhm.
damage because he's the tank.
Mhm.
It's not like I'm just doing it like messing up stuff just to mess up stuff. You know,
Also, he's the comedic relief. 'Cause,
he
like,
is to everything.
I remember like they were at one of the stations,
For where? I know. Well,
like against like after you know how like after they assigned them the mission
mhm.
and they went
The first mission.
yeah they were with their teacher
Mhm.
and they
Oh, Teacher Rui in that first when they first got based on a mission to defend it.
yeah
Okay.
and then he was just hiding in the bathroom. He was like-
Yeah. Oh wait, no, that was way back.
was that really far back?
That was when they were fighting Lawton. And you're talking about when the bathroom exploded? Or-
No.
Or are you talking about when he was protecting the infirmary?
It was the infirmary. That's what
Okay,
it was.
yeah.
It was in the bathroom.
Okay.
But yeah, he was hiding away in the infirmary.
He has so many different comedic relief moments.
But the bathroom was also funny.
That was hilarious.
Where he's just hiding. And then he's like, don't want to come out and fight.
So just
But then he like gets forced to fight, and
Yeah.
he's just it's just so funny.
yeah. So guys, so you know, there's two different points here. There's one where this was like chapter 160, 170 near there, where they're Aaron's group is fighting Lawton and Stingham is just in his own room, and he's actually in the bathroom because he's like, oh, I hear all this fighting. What's happening? I'm gonna just stay. Basically, he's taking a poop, and he's like, I'm gonna stay on here so nobody can get me. But the water system goes crazy, and it explodes him into the sky. and he's like, his ass hurts for days.
He couldn't.
He's literally too injured to fight. And
Oh,
like how? Like, you know what I'm saying?
that was so funny.
And then the second one that Biggest Gamer is talking about is when they're on their mission and he's protecting the infirmary, and he's just like trying to hide from the fight, but he ends up beating like a 4-gate person.
Yeah, they were like fighting like crazy.
Mhm.
Because he was like, why can't I just rest in peace?
Yeah. And everybody was going for him. They were like, oh, he's shirking his duties, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, he protected 8 arcane masters from death, you know? And he was like, yeah, that was me.
Yeah, taking all the credit.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny how I feel like before his I'm the most handsome was like kind of like,
Oh, it was getting to me.
yeah. But now it's like I feel like it's timed perfectly where it's
Yeah.
just funny.
I think also you can tell that he doesn't say it as much,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he says it more as comedic relief. I don't think he does it purposely as comedic relief, but like he picks his moments way better.
Yeah, so much better now. So yeah, there's just been plenty of times where he does it. I'm just laughing every time.
Yeah.
But I think the thing I love the most is how they became robbers and they started just robbing everybody.
Yeah.
And Stigma was just like, "Come back here, we're here to rob you." And every time they run into a team, they're just like, "Give up your stuff, and maybe we'll let you live." And I was just dying.
It was so bad, bro. He was like, "Wait, hold up. When we beat people up, we get treasures.
Exactly.
Let's start robbing everybody."
and then every time like some people like don't have anything, he's like, "Damn, you're poor. Why are you
know
so
what that
poor?
is? You just get beat up by a robber. He's like, I don't want this.
You're so poor.
You got 5 pennies? Come on, do better, bro.
Oh my god, those are so funny.
It's so bad. I couldn't even imagine getting beat up and robbed, and then they just give my stuff back.
Oh god.
Oh, stick of is, and then Rin Lauren. I love Rin Lauren. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just him and like when he got his healing thing, and he started like starting to heal everybody, and how he's just so like upright and proper, I guess, but like he's not excessive about it either, and he's really. I think before you can also tell before he joined the team, he was very like by himself, secluse, and now like he's joining more and more. He was always good friends with Aaron because Aaron was the one that got him onto the team, got him out of his bubble. But seeing him interact more with everybody else, you know.
Yeah, it's been good. And also he's also crazy strong. Like he's like the Moonlight Swordsman or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty badass.
One thing I wish you could have read is just like another 20. I think it's like 30 chapters later because I actually tweeted about it this week. Was there's some moments in the next arc you're gonna read where Moss, man, I'm not gonna lie, guys, he brought me to tears, bro.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen.
Okay, it's the next arc
because like in the last like
you don't really see the whole the Arcane Squad from the Holy Dawn
yeah,
Academy.
like the last 80 chapters, other than Aaron's team, you really mostly interact with either other squads or the teachers from the Holy Dawn. You haven't really heard anyone else.
They get way more into the other 3 characters in the next couple arcs, and I gotta say, without spoiling too much, they did it so perfectly that it made me feel as if there were multiple main characters.
Yeah.
And I was rooting so hard for them, like Moss, Bello, Chris.
Yeah, I'm excited to read about them because I was like, I want to know what they were doing during the thing. And I was like, it'd just be interesting to see because like, even though the focus has been on Aaron, everyone's gotten a lot of spotlight.
Yeah,
which is crazy in the amount of chapters that we've had. Like
so good. He's
like
so good with like
yeah, because I was like
packing those chapters.
I was like, it's only been like 300 chapters, but everyone's just been getting crazy spotlight in like the development.
Insane.
I was like, oh my god.
I think he just does so good from like they're in the middle of a battle, and like as soon as the battle ends, cut to this other thing.
Yeah,
it's not like he doesn't show the author. What I'm saying, the author doesn't show them just like recuperating. He's like recuperating in the background. Let's get some juicy stuff in here. You know, I really like that. And so, how do you feel when they first were gonna go into? I think it's the Shadow of Death, or I forget the
Land
valley,
of Death. It's
the Land of Death. And they were gonna go into like they said it was a subspace world or something.
Yeah.
How do you feel when they were first going in there,
bro? I was so hyped.
I was
especially
so scared.
especially when Lawton, because like right now, so Lawton was their enemy,
Mm-hmm.
and Aaron convinced them to be like to take
Take your freedom.
yeah, like, and like control his own destiny. So
Mm-hmm.
Lawton was like, all right, I need your help to get the what's it called, the
Lunar essence,
yeah,
lunar moon essence,
lunar water. I think it's lunar water essence.
something along those lines. Yeah.
But yeah, he had just saved them from the Allen brothers.
Yeah, Lawton saved them. Yep.
Yeah, which was another crazy fight because
Super crazy.
beat they were getting beaten
I think they
down.
were gonna die.
Yeah, they were.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron even broke through to the
Third
third
gate.
gate, and they were still gonna lose. That's how strong those guys were.
They were very strong.
And so that's why they also knew that they wanted to keep going also because they wanted to fight more and get stronger because they knew like the difference between like the tournament and them. Like there were so many powerful like arcane masters, like it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So but yeah, I was hyped because I was like, damn, there's probably crazy fights about to happen.
I was very surprised the first, I'd say 5 or 10 chapters of them going into the land of the death. Or land, what do you say it called? What was it called again?
Land of the Death.
Land of Death. Okay.
Yeah.
Land. So when they first went in there, it went so smooth for them for like the first 10 shots, and they were just like, because first Aaron just walks through the pond, and then gets a dragon egg.
Yeah.
And then after that, like to get the lunar essence or lunar water essence, whatever it's called, they it went very easily for them. Like I was like,
yeah, they just waited for the guardian dragon to just drink some water and then
leave.
run away.
And I was very surprised, but I thought they were gonna go through like massive, like amount of fighting to get
trials.
this. And I actually liked how he switched that up because instead of their like dragging it to get to the point, they got to the point very quickly with cool like subplots along the way. And then when the earth crumbled, or sorry, the ceiling, because there's 3 levels to this land of death, and they got to the second level, and the third level's ceiling, so the second level's floor, crumbled, and they were on the second level and they fell, and that's where they entered the fight with the like basically the elite evil dragon followers, and they were fighting basically everybody. There's 4 arcane master or above, and they're all 3 arcane level, like Renloren, Stingham, and Aaron were all at 3 arcane gates. And I just loved how it was like cool pacing at the beginning, and then it went insane when they were fighting all those people.
Yeah, so I think so the author took the I mean, I've never honestly. I expected the same thing. I was like, "Oh, there are gonna be so many obstacles," but then it wasn't. So I was like, "So what the author did here was so different."
Yeah.
He basically, instead of trials and obstacles, he filled the journey by telling them about Lawton's story. There, he was like, "Yeah, this land of death, like it's basically where all the evil dragon followers they would throw in a bunch of people and have them fight to the death." And he told him like Lawton, he was here with like his father.
Yeah.
And like probably other friends.
So sad.
You know, it was like he had to kill everyone, and whenever they threw other people in, no one could defeat him. So that's when they pulled him out because he killed everyone. And I was like, wow, this is crazy.
You're right. I almost forgot. I did forget to touch on that because that was a great way to fill those
time. Yeah,
time.
I was like, he just told the story.
Yeah.
Got a dragon egg, told us about Lawton. And we
learned.
learned.
Story was very interesting.
Yeah, and we learned about the guardian dragon, which is the pet of the other
evil dragon bishop.
Yeah. So I
forget his name, but his special spell is called Apocalypse, which was insane.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, they gave us a lot of information here instead of like a lot of like trials, which I thought was really good, and then they skipped straight to the fighting.
And the fighting with them, that's when I felt like you could see first of all, they just got a boost from the lunar water essence, so they just got stronger, right? And they have the tree of life, which made Renloren like a super healer. Like as long as you're not dead, you're going back to full HP.
Yeah.
And so you see them fight like level 4 arcane masters arcane masters with 4 gates open. You see them beat a 5 arcane master. You see them beat one by surprise and then one officially.
Yeah.
And I like how the author did that because it showed like them fighting a 5 arcane master, and it was like they beat him off surprise. Like the guy wasn't ready. He was trying to conserve his abilities, and then like Aaron just like rushed him, and he didn't even get a chance to fight back.
Yeah.
And then you see them fight like an actual arcane master with 5 gates open who's like ready for them. and he goes all out, and they still beat him by like just barely. It
Yeah,
was
they
so good.
barely beat him.
Cause like at the beginning, I was like, oh, these level 5 arcane masters aren't that cool. And like when they beat the first one and then they beat the second one, I was like, hold up,
Yeah,
they got lucky.
they they mean business.
Yeah. And then my favorite. This is what I really want to talk about. After Apocalypse, and they're surviving Apocalypse. They think they might not
Mhm.
make it, and then the Golden Stack Professor like takes the blow for them. And
Yeah.
right,
Oh my
that
god.
was so good. And so they takes the blow for the 3 students, and he's like, "You're the future of the kingdom." And then they took it to heart right away, and they're like, "We're not the future, we're the present." And they go, and basically after this apocalypse, all the teams are super weak, and they feel like they're not gonna be able to fight against all the zombies that were
Yeah,
resurrected.
because the well, all those people died and became zombies.
Oh yeah. So apocalypse kills all the people, and all the people who
Became
were
undead. Yeah.
all the people who were already killed from the fighting previously also became zombies.
Yeah.
And so all the teams were like super tired. They were weak. They couldn't resist. And then Aaron and Lauren and Stingham literally are like a spear, and they just cut through the zombies, and they're like a holy spear in my eyes, because they're also attracting all the zombies.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "What's happening? What's happening?" And then they goes, "Can I? I want to read it, bro.
Yeah.
Should I or no?"
I think you should, because
Okay.
honestly, when I was reading it, I
Hmm.
was like, "Oh my god, this was so good."
Guys, this is where what I was just describing now, and it was the reactions of some of the arcane masters nearby because they saw, was it 325?
No, it was like earlier than that.
Do you remember what an
Might have been like 318 or 315.
oh, I should have saved it because I knew I wanted to talk about it. Wait, is this the undead bishop's strongest skill? So it's the next one. It's 308. You were pretty close.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
But I think the best thing about that was
Mm.
when they were singing.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say. That's what I want to write.
Oh man! So they were singing, and it
Mhm.
was like the author describes like like an imposing like holy like aura like appeared before them,
Mhm.
and like other people heard their singing and they felt invigorated by it, and they started fighting more, and they were just dashing through like
Mhm.
through the entire battlefield just straight forward.
Yeah. And do you want to read it? I feel like you have more like you're better at reading.
No, you read
You
it.
sure?
Yeah.
All right. So this is like the spear moment, and they're like, when the darkness before dawn twisted and whirled, and the evil dragon's forces gradually unfurled, a world destroying crisis, despair uncurled, be a flickering flame of hope in the verge of extinction.
I know.
Arise and fight, brave warrior. Fight with courage, brave warrior. Even when my body is drenched in blood, the light of holy dawn will never fade. And then,
Oh
oh
my.
my god, I can't. Oh, it feels so good, man. It's so good. And I don't want to read that whole chapter for you guys because I want to, but it's too
Yeah, I
much.
know.
But chapter 308, oh, perfection. Perfection.
Yeah, when right before when Stigma was like, we chase,
Hmm.
we chase together.
Yeah, he just said that.
Yeah, if we die, we die together. I was
Mhm.
like,
And
Stigma.
you don't expect it from him.
Yeah, I
either.
was like,
you
Stigma
can
came a
see.
long way. Like,
Yeah.
Riddler was like called him an idiot right
Yeah.
after too, but like obviously he was like,
He's agreeing, you
yeah.
know? Oh, it was so good, bro. Bro, I said I told you, and we needed to talk about this.
You were right.
And these chapters are so packed. They're so packed. Honestly, from 325 to 450, that could probably be a whole nother conversation. But you read it after this, and obviously you read it, and you tell me when you think would be good.
Yeah.
Like if 150 chapters or whatever. I'm stopped at 450. And since we got 9 star next week, I'm be focused on 9 star. But yeah, bro, that Fallen Shadow Valley arc. And then how do you feel about when they met their teachers and that whole thing went down?
Bro, like once DS was like, oh, you say when he said like, oh, you say the mask guy is like of unknown origin, but I don't know about that. I instantly knew.
Me too.
I was like,
Me
oh
too.
no, he did. That was the true taboo skill right there. Like, nah, you did something you're not supposed to, man.
Resurrecting everlasting meat shield Asher.
Mm-hmm.
That was painful, and
That
I knew it.
was
As a reader, you knew it, but they didn't, and it was just like, this is gonna
yeah,
hurt.
and
This
then
is
they
gonna
describe
hurt
all their
them.
reactions when
Mm-hmm.
they saw him. They were all like so angry. Like
Mm-hmm.
teacher Sierra was
That's her
trembling.
love.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
violently. I was like, oh my god. But then she came out of nowhere. She was like, I'm glad I got to see you again.
Yeah.
And then she just uses elemental corrosion
Mm-hmm.
to destroy them. I was like, damn, that was crazy.
Better to be destroyed by their hands than to damage the world,
Yeah.
with his own.
Mm-hmm.
And then I loved how even though Aaron and them I like to say their names just because I need to give them credit. Aaron, Lauren, and Stingham, like you thought they'd have no place in that battle.
Oh, I thought so too.
I didn't realize how they were gonna like even as a meat shield. I didn't think they could provide. I thought they'd get one shot, and so
Yeah.
I like how the author still made a way for them to really participate. And I'm not gonna lie, Aaron swung that fight with his treasured book of sealing with the domain that he sucked in that domain at the end,
Yeah.
and then the fairy dragon stole his gem.
Yeah, but so basically how this fight went. So they had the what was they called? The blood.
Evil dragon particles.
No. Like the
The
statues.
blood crazed.
Blood craze. So the
Mhm.
blood craze were like their former comrades. All right. So that was like part of like he's trying to like mess with their minds.
Mhm.
Who were attacking them, and
And they're crazy guys.
Yeah.
They're like over. Basically, they become zombies.
yeah. So they were surrounded,
Mhm.
and Sierra like they're apparently attracted to more like female energy.
I don't think they were surrounded. I think they were like rushing them from one area.
Oh yeah,
and like they had to protect them.
and they wanted to go like attack Diaz, but like they were just kind of like they didn't want.
No, they were gonna attack Sierra, not Diaz.
No, I'm talking about the blood craze. I'm talking about like the teachers.
Oh, the teachers. Okay.
Yeah, but obviously, like if they go attack him, they can't protect everyone, and so they like Sierra was like probably gonna get overrun because they were attracted to her the most. But like now, like Aaron and them, they're like, we're gonna protect her, so just don't worry about it. Take out the other blood crazed. It will hold them off here.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is good. It's crazy.
So-
When Stignum ran in, he was like, see, this is my job in the first place, man. Let me get him first, because he's truly embraced the defensive
He
role.
has. He has.
And now I love that. And when
Mhm.
he ran in, and the teacher's like, what the hell are you doing out there? I was like, yes, Stigman's
Yeah.
his era's here. He's a changed man. He fights for his comrades now.
And he also he gets mad when Aaron runs in first. He's
Yeah.
like, bro, it's my job.
Yeah.
All right? Don't take my job. I love
so
it.
good.
Yeah, and that fight, they killed two. I want to make sure I understood this right. Did they kill two evil dragon bishops, or did one get away? I thought that they killed both of them, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I think they killed both
Both
of
of them are dead.
Yeah.
All right, I just want to make clear. So there's 10 bishops left,
Mhm.
and one of them, I forget his name. I think they go over here. They go over like which bishops they know,
Yeah.
and they only know like 4 other bishops, I think, and they don't know the other 6.
Because they're deeply hidden.
Yeah. But also, it comes to my understanding from that is that the kingdom of Ichi and the kingdom of Doa don't make up the continent.
No.
So,
Continent's way bigger than we
Yeah.
can imagine.
so the kingdom of Ichi, like there was these 2 bishops there, but they eradicated the evil dragon followers from the kingdom of Ichi. But that doesn't obviously there's 10 more bishops. They're just in the surrounding like area of the
Yeah,
world.
so they were like, for a long time, been trying to like, it's like a tumor, right? And they're
Yeah.
trying to get rid of it.
Mhm.
So now they finally like got rid of it.
Yeah.
But those battles between all of them, and then the battle with Diaz,
Mhm.
when every time they were just like trying, like Lion came out and just was like, I'm gonna finally fight for myself, or this is my first time fighting for myself.
Yeah.
I was like, there you go, Lion, there you go.
That was so good.
And
That
now,
was so good.
yep, and then they basically pushed Diaz to the brink.
Mm-hmm.
Diaz was like, I'm gonna turn the tides, and then the fairy dragon, as what it's called, the Uno reverse, and said, nope, I'm gonna turn the tides,
Yeah.
and stole the. I don't remember what the name of the crystal was called.
It's I forget either, but basically, guys, it was his life saving
Oh,
treasure.
it was an evil dragon.
Old evil dragon crystal,
Yeah,
and the fairy dragon robbed it because he was gonna about to use like a super crazy spell with it,
yeah,
and instead, like basically, this guy's out of power, and he's like, this is the last resort of energy, and if he uses this, he'll use a super spell and knock out everybody, not kill everybody, right?
yeah,
And instead of killing everybody, he gets killed because all of a sudden all these powers are coming at him and he's out of energy.
yeah.
It's a 2v5, I believe.
Yep, and then the other guy, I think was Anna.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that.
Every time I read the name, I was like, I thought
I
it was
was
a
very
girl, and I was
confused,
like,
yeah.
Anna.
They described him as super young too.
Yeah. So I was like, but yeah. Anyway, he was charging up a super move, but let's use Holy Gate of Life and destroy that thing. That was supposed to become like a evil spirit stronger than him, which crippled him pretty much.
Yep.
And then yeah, they started their assault, and then
I love Mindler.
Oh,
That's how
yeah.
you say his name, right?
yeah, because then he just beat the crap out of Diaz.
He's
give
just
him
like
give him a 3-piece combo. He was like for
Oh, yeah.
he was like for Asher,
Yeah.
for Sierran, and then for all of us. And
Yeah.
then he was like, "Toop, toop," and then knocked him to the ground.
Mindler is the berserker. And he
Yeah.
does it perfectly. I love Mindler.
And then they let Sierran get the final kill,
Mhm.
and then she like said like we avenged Asher, and then they burnt him up. And I was like, that was like the best way to close for them to get closure and like finally like resolve that enmity between them.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
I was like, it was perfect.
It was very good. All of it, they was done so well. The author he went out of like, I wasn't ready for so many ups and downs, and the fighting is so good in the 3v, like the 3v3 fighting or 3v4 fighting. When you see Lauren, Aaron, and
The teamwork like,
Singham, yeah,
between
he describes it very
squads,
well.
yeah.
You see the teamwork instead of like, I feel like in some novels there'll be a group fighting and it's like one person attacks and everybody else is watching
in the background, or
Yeah.
it feels like it,
Yeah.
because like you're not describing other people's fights that much.
Yeah.
And I was like,
You're gonna especially know after this arc, they do a lot more like 6v6 fights,
oh really?
and he does an amazing job describing them. Like, insane. Like, it's honestly 6v6. It's not like main character versus like main person, and then the main character wins, and then now he helps everybody else out, and
It's
that's
like
how they
a
win.
straight up group battle.
It's a group
Okay.
battle. Yeah. So
That's
insane.
good. Honestly, group battles are hard to do.
Bro, very. And almost sometimes I get lost, I'm not gonna lie. But he does like a good job. The author does a good job of like every like 2 or 3 switches, he'll like name exactly what's happening again, so you still know what's like going down. Bro, I can't wait to talk about it. He does so good. And then there's, I gotta stop because then I'll go into it. Oh, this book is so amazing, bro.
Yeah, and then there's like the 9 great families. I
Mhm.
feel like we'll get into that more because House Baratheon. I mean, basically what House Baratheon said, he was like, "We only care about our own interests and our own." So I was I was just like, "Bro, they definitely gotta have some like evil dragon followers in there or something." Look at this guy. He's like, "I gotta drink. I can't talk." He's like, "I don't do what."
Truth in there, drink.
So I'm excited to learn about that, especially since we've only been exposed to like 2 families, like Lannister, Baratheon.
That's true.
It's still so funny to me how they just copy the Game of Thrones.
Oh, all 9 of them. All 9 of
Wait,
them.
all 9 of them?
Bro, House Tully. Because they name them in the national championship.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
House Tully, Golden Stag is Baratheon.
Yeah.
Not the only one that's not it is the Dragon Academy, but the other one is like, I can't remember. House Tully, House Baratheon, House Winterfell.
Yeah, Winterfell. I was like, when I saw Winterfell, I was like, no,
Yeah.
they put Winterfell.
Bro, literally word for word. It was like, wow.
That was
But
so
after
funny.
the initial shock, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. And I've just like gotten used to it at this point, so it doesn't matter. But I am interested in like the political aspects of what's gonna happen in the future,
Yeah.
especially for Aaron, because like imagine like when people like find out what his bloodline is or see like the properties of bloodline, they're gonna go crazy over him.
Yeah, yeah. All I'll say is they get into it. Anything else you want to bring up that we didn't touch?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything that was important.
Yeah. Quick thing before we go on. I know we kind of touched on like the robbing people and everything, but when they rob Able Academy
Oh,
of
that was
all their
hilarious.
treasures, and then when the teachers come and they're like, "Did you rob our students?" No, 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 no. They gave it to us.
He said, like, we challenged them to a battle. They lost, and we took their items.
And the funny part was that Able Academy couldn't say anything out loud because they lost 3v6.
Mhm.
It was their whole 6-man squad lost to Lauren, Aaron, and Stingham. So it's like they can't even be like, "Oh, they beat us up." No, it's like you just lost your stuff. It was so perfect, bro.
Oh, I loved it. And now I'm waiting for. Can't wait for more robberies because now they got like a real life thief with them, like that golden dragon. I was like, he's just. And then his name is Luke, which is I am
The Great King.
the Great King,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh my god, of course his name is the Great King.
Honestly, it's perfect because it really is like it just fits with the personalities of everybody in that group. You know. I love it. I love it. The Great King.
Yeah, the personalities in this novel is amazing.
Yeah. All right. So is that all we got for the story of Ice and Fire?
Yeah, for now.
Okay.
We'll be back to it.
We'll be back, guys. That was chapter 200 to 325.
Yeah.
That was a solid 125 chapters. All right. Guys, like and subscribe to the video. Quick notes to talk about. We will, with this episode, we'll be going hopefully into spreading our wings. We want to share our podcast in Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and Amazon Podcasts are the three big ones we want to look into. We're gonna try and just outreach as much as possible. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna try to improve the quality and everything. We're gonna try to take some steps like that. Yep. So hopefully you guys can see it and enjoy it. Is there anything else I forgot?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Phoenix Requiem. This one's tough.
It is. So we were discussing this earlier.
Right,
so we said
right before the podcast started, guys.
So we said that it has. Well, technically, it's gotten better because they've progressed the story a little bit. It is frustrating to read.
Frustratingly slow.
Yeah, it's so slow for a novel that's only
450.
450 chapters.
I'll tell you right now, you keep going.
It is so slow. To be honest, I am not sure why it is so slow. We are at chapter 150, and honestly, I'm gonna spoil this. So there's an academy. She gets accepted into the academy. She is not in the academy yet.
At 150.
We are waiting for the academy. Like, she got accepted to the academy 100 or 50 chapters ago, or was it 50?
It might have been 100. No,
it wasn't 100.
Maybe like near chapter 70 or 80.
Yeah, and so we're still waiting for the academy arc to happen. That I thought was gonna happen like 30 or like at least around 110, 120.
Yeah.
But no, a bunch of other stuff happened instead. Which honestly, some of it, like, it was.
You can tell from our size. We're like, it
wasn't satisfying.
Yeah, it wasn't satisfying.
Her family is so frustrating. I don't, honestly, it might just be because I don't like the outright
favoritism.
Yeah, it's like so unbearable to read, especially from her perspective. And it's like in an era where like talent and strength is like highly valuable. You would think like
she's showing her potential.
You would think like the leaders of her family would have done something already, but honestly, so like obviously like for being weak, she gets bullied, right? and they overlook it because they're like weaklings can't don't have
Don't
a
have
right.
say. Yeah.
But I feel like if she when she starts bullying her siblings or like being a little overbearing, they don't look the other way, even though she's clearly more talented and like proven like, oh, I'm better than them now. And they interfere. They're like, oh, don't disrupt the harmony of the family. It's like,
Oh,
bruh,
the don't
don't
disrupt the value of the family thing
that
irks me so much.
bro. Stop with that the bullshit, bro. Like what?
It's literally such bullshit. And also, quick side note: it's 492 chapter, guys. In the total, 492.
Okay.
And this just like the value thing, it just seems so one sided.
No, yeah, it's like I feel like it's also the family she's in is like a matriarchal family, so the
Grandmother.
yeah. So I feel like at this point, because like the daughter, obviously, so she's the first in line to become like the next head, right? Because she's the daughter of the main wife. So she she has the identity and the talent, and in families like that, like obviously in other novels and other Zhangxia novels, you've always seen sometimes a lot of people like that who are extremely egotistical.
Young masters.
They use their status to bully others. When
I guess look,
you would think
you don't even look at it. You're just like,
yeah,
okay,
it's overlooked because she has everything that's needed for it. The master, you don't want to make her upset. You don't want to make the young master, young mistress upset. But for her, now that she's finally put in that position, now
they don't respect it.
Yeah, they won't let it happen. And it's like for a novel, a revenge novel, the fact that they have not let karma come to pass, and like now she's ascended to this position and like proven herself, because clearly like the matriarch has like said like, oh yeah, like like now before she was timid, but now I like her, she's proven herself. But now it's like all this, oh, don't disrupt the family. Honestly, there was one quote that the Yun matriarch said that pissed me off so much.
What was it? What'd she say?
She said, because everyone was like accusing each other and yelling at each other, like the whole family, everyone was yelling.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And she was like, she told everyone to shut up. She was like, when did my family become so scheming? And everyone was turning against each other. I was like, bro, don't tell me that you like, when did this happen? Yeah. When it was literally happening and you let it all happen, and then now because both sides are technically even, now they're like they can fight in the open without care. And now you're just like, when did this happen? It's like, kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Bro, no. So dumb.
What I was really hoping was that she would have taken her side, let her beat the crap out of them, humiliate them, whatever, and move on.
They deserve it, yeah.
And then slowly like get them to like
see submit. How amazing she is and like submit to her.
Not even that, like just like submit and just like they have no fear, because like you and matriarch and her are like both super strong or talented or whatever, and no one cares.
I thought, bro, I agree. I thought it was gonna happen like that, and it didn't ever.
Nope.
We were waiting the whole 150 chapters, and I'm not gonna lie. At the beginning, I understand she's blossoming, she's showing more of her talent, she's showing how valuable she is. But by chapter 120, I'm gonna say 130.
She's far ahead of them.
She's far ahead of them by a lot in multiple situations. It's happened not once, not twice, not thrice. It's one of these things that like if you don't see her value yet and you're not gonna stick up for her, like that's why she's making this big of a noise, because you still do not see, like you're not showing that you see her value. Because if you would see her value, you'd be like, hold up, I'm not gonna take these three, like two of them are concubine born technically. And then, because Madame Anne is not the first wife, even though she is now, but she's not like the main wife, And so they're concubine born. And then the third girl's from a whole nother family. Yeah. And you're taking their side for what? For no reason. And then you're just pushing young Ruyan, our main character, to the side. And then young Nan, her father, is even worse. I have a big problem with young Ruyan. I can't even say it because it's a spoiler. But she has an influential backer, I'll say, and you know who I'm talking about, right? And this influential backer, they know who he is. The family knows who he is. They know what power and influence he holds, and they act like they don't see it. Like he's like this influential backer is so big, and they just like not real, fake, 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 and it's like this guy is like so important, and they're just glossing him over. And now I'm like, there's no way this is really happening. There's no
Yeah,
way.
it's so. That's why I said it's frustrating
Mm-hmm.
to read novels like this
Mm.
if they don't take their revenge.
You called it chapter 5th in our first review. You called this, bro.
Yeah, I said I was like I love hate because I was expecting right here. I was like, this will be the turning point
Mm-hmm.
of whether or not the novel will properly do the revenge here,
Mm-hmm.
because now it's not.
Starting to drag
It's
instead of feel good.
it's dragged a lot
Mm-hmm.
because usually when you're doing like revenge,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you slowly torture them to
Mm-hmm.
the point, and then you finally just get them.
The big
But
reveal.
right here, there's none of that. It's
Mhm.
just like you're just going back and forth, enduring a little bit, hitting them every now and then, but nothing really like threatening. Just kind of makes other
Yeah.
people mad.
And the antagonists are getting bigger and bigger against our main character.
Yeah.
And no actions are being caused against them, even though the evidence is showing that they have done these acts. It's not like there's no evidence. There is evidence of them plotting against our main character, even attempting to assassinate her, and no repercussions.
Mhm.
Bro, I am so over the punishment of kneeling in the ancestral hall for day and
Yes,
night, bro.
I
I'm like,
know.
this is not a punishment. This is not a punishment. A 24-hour kneeling session is not a punishment for trying to kill somebody.
I was expecting like the what's it called, like the whip or something, or like some kind of like
Oh, the
either like flogging or like the
oh, okay,
whips or
yeah.
something like that.
Oh, like
some kind-
lashes, you mean?
yeah, lashes. That's what
Okay.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
I was like something like that,
Mm-hmm.
but
No.
it was nothing.
The punishments are so lackluster. Kneeling in the ancestral hall for a day and night, house arrest, like
Like-
this
Like
is
kneeling
nothing.
can be painful, but like these are cultivators. It's
Yeah.
not like
And you're
different.
and it'd be different if it was kneeling for like you try to embarrass her and you got caught.
Yeah.
No, okay, kneeling. All right, fair. But like try to assassinate you, go kneel for a day and night, you'll be good. And it's like, so assassination attempts are cool in
Yeah.
this family. Like we do not care, and like you're not seeing our main character's value. Young Ruyan is like a seventh. She's important, you know. She has a lot of value in the story, and they just don't see it. They don't see it, and it's frustrating. Even though, because they talk about seeing it, and that's the worst part. They say that they see it. They see how much better she's gotten throughout this novel, but yet they don't act accordingly.
Yeah.
Like act accordingly
And
if you see
usually-
her like
And usually in
progressing.
novels, like in noble families, right?
Mhm.
Like or in cultivator families, when characters like change and becoming more responsible, like the whole point of the family head is to take the most talented and like
uplift
properly
them.
and dote on them, and
Mhm.
yeah. So like if they're angry or mad, like you do everything you can to like um
Like
reverse
appease
that.
them.
Yeah, appease them.
And that's the biggest thing you're supposed to in these families. Like you're they don't want a whole bunch of good people. They want one great person.
Yeah.
And once you find that great person, like you're saying, you want to lift them to the very top. They want mediocre. This is
Mhm.
what they're showing me. They want the mediocre people. And that's so opposite of what you want.
Yeah, I don't know. This is ridiculous.
It
This
is ridiculous.
Dragging on. The slow burn torture that I was expecting did not happen,
Mm,
and the big punishment that should have been the turning point. There should have been like either it sends them into like fear or a super rage where it's like, okay, now they're afraid they won't do anything, or it's like now they're angry they're gonna do something crazy, and then they're just be like, now they're dead.
and that's they did do something crazy, and then that punishment should have came.
Yeah.
You know?
And they didn't, and I was just like, okay, I'm done. This is ridiculous.
And one other thing that I think is very big is that after she gets accepted into the academy, chapter let's put 70 on it.
Yeah, because it was pretty early on.
Yeah, early on. It would be it would be okay if the author tells us it's a 3 month period between when they get accepted and when they go to the academy.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know a timetable. So as headcanon, usually if you get accepted to the academy, you go to your family for like a week. You say goodbye to everybody. You go to the academy. That's
Yeah.
how these things usually go in all these novels. This guy doesn't give us time, so we're all assuming a week. It turns out it's 3 months, and we find that out when there's 10 days left of the 3 months. You know where they start
Yeah.
talking about it. They're like, oh, we just have to make it to the deadline of the academy entrance, which is 10 days away. It's been 3 months because they meet some of their friends, and that's how when we find out the time. And it's like, if I would have known from the beginning that it was a 3 month timetable, I wouldn't have felt like I was getting slowly dragged through these chapters because we're waiting for them to hit the academy.
I thought the academy was gonna happen so much earlier because they
Yeah.
kept talking about the academy,
The academy.
I was like, what is with this damn academy?
Yeah,
Like, what is
and
going to
it's
happen
so
here?
special. It's so important, so prominent, and I'm like, they should be there then. Why are they not there? And then we don't know why she's not there until literally like probably 15 chapters before she's gonna go, and then we don't
Yeah.
even know if she's gonna go yet because she's not there. She's not there, and they're dragging these days. The last 10 days, because they started talking about the last 10 days. They've been dragging these days. Like each day something happens, And then don't even get me started on her romance. I hate, I'm getting more accepting of the romance, but I just really dislike how unconsensual it is. I think like romance is cool, and I started to get more like okay with it, even though the age gap is crazy, and they also know that the man is a man and she's a child, and everybody's okay with it, and so I guess I'll be okay with it because that's the world we're in. But
Yeah, like back then,
yeah,
like that
yeah,
thing
yeah.
was almost just like
So it's
okay.
like if that's the world you want to set for the author wants to set that, then I'll abide by his rules.
Yeah.
But it still shows how unconsensual it is, and that's not okay even in that time period. And so it's like, and she can't even do anything about it, and it irks me. I just really dislike that because it's like if they did everything but the unconsensual stuff, I think that romance would be okay. I wouldn't be mad about it. Like, yes, it's weird, but like he's waiting. The romance person is waiting until she becomes an adult, which is
Mhm.
technically 15. Then okay, but like all this unconsensual stuff is just gross, very gross. And every time I read it, I'm like, ugh, ugh.
Yeah, it's just like, why is that even there?
Not
Why?
needed, not needed. Yeah. Also, these cultivations aren't getting any clearer.
No, we didn't learn. We haven't learned anything.
We learned a couple things. So we learned that ninth rank isn't the peak rank.
Well, that was pretty obvious.
It was, but like they stated it finally.
Finally. Oh yeah.
And they stated the ninth rank is like peak for normal people, for everybody like in society knows about that. But there's a 10th rank, and there's even ranks beyond that. Is what we've been told. But we haven't met any 10th rank people yet, and they make it so weird about how like 10th rank is like this magical rank, but yet there's a lot of casual ninth rank people.
Yeah.
They make it seem like ninth rank is like peak of the world, you're unrivaled, but we've met ninth rank people and they're not unrivaled. There's like it's not making sense. Make it make sense. If you're ninth rank, you should be unrivaled, but we haven't met any unrivaled people except one person who he says is not 10th rank. We died.
Damn, we went that crazy.
We went that. I thought I was checking the timer too. All right. Anything else you gotta say? We kind of went on a tangent.
Oh, we went on a huge tangent.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's just say we got 50 chapters left.
Mm-hmm.
Slog through them there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll give you our rating, which I'm sure most of you already know.
Maybe it'll get better. A couple things. Next week, 9-star Hegemon body art. Finally here, guys. We have over 100 chapters to read. I'm hyped. You guys know we talk about that every single week, basically.
Yes, sir.
So finally, 100 chapters we can read. 100 and something chapters for next Saturday. Also, guys, we have changed our upload time. We've been kind of inconsistent. We're sorry, but Monday from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern time. expect our videos to come out. We're gonna
Yep.
try to be very consistent. Try to get between those 3 hours every week. That's our new standard. We're gonna try to stick to it, and I hope you guys like that time. If that time, let us know how you like that. Maybe we can change it if you guys think another time is good. But just let us know. Sorry for super rush, but we were basically done anyways.
Yeah,
We were just harping on how bad it was at this point.
pretty much.
But yeah, guys, this has been. You got anything else before we finish up?
No, we're good.
All right, this has been episode 12.
11.
Episode 11. Episode 11 of Line Up with Beans podcast. This has been Animar,
Biggest gamer.
and y'all take it easy. Read some books.
See ya.
See ya.